The weekend is here, and we are not off to a good start. We're tracking showers and colder temperatures as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Sandra?
All right, Ben. Also first at 4 felony murder charges in a deadly apartment fire. Prosecutors say a mother and her 2-year-old daughter were caught up in someone else's family fight. The UAW releases its first video message in the 26-day strike against General Motors, where things stand right now. Hey, Paula.
So I want you to take a look at this. This is the counseling office at a school, and when you walk in, you get this, a pantry and a closet filled with clothes for kids. I'll explain how this works. It's kind of cool.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandra Ali in for Karen Drew. First at 4, this man you see right here is charged in a deadly fire that killed a mother and her 2-year-old daughter. DeMarco Latham appeared in court via video. He's facing charges of felony murder and arson after the fire on Brace Street on Detroit's west side. Prosecutors say Latham set the fire targeting that mother of his children, but she wasn't home. The fire spread to the apartment of Star Milligan, killing her, her daughter, and injuring 2 others. A man who was on the run for 10 years, found hiding in Mexico, was back in court today. Corey Gaston is accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting a 10-year-old girl back in 2007. After his capture, a judge set bail at $250,000 cash with a tether. Prosecutors argued he was a flight risk. Today, the judge decided to send Gaston to jail after all. Coming up new at 6, more about the judge who made those decisions. And we also talked to the U.S. Marshals who tracked him down. At this hour, strike talks continue between the UAW and General Motors. There's been a real flurry of back and forth between both sides as the work stoppage is now in its 26th day. General Motors released a letter last night saying it made a comprehensive offer on Monday. The company accused the union of not giving a response because of 5 sticking points. GM also says the talks should be going around the clock. The union's vice president responded, focusing on some of those sticking points, including temporary workers.
We are here to fight for our temporary members to ensure that they have a path towards seniority, but that is not yet guaranteed. I want to ensure you, despite that letter, your bargaining team has been here around the clock working to get you the contract that you deserve.
Coming up new at 5, we have an exclusive look for you at 2 big sweeteners General Motors is offering to the union to get a deal done. Business editor Rod Maloney reports that's coming up live at 5. Now we have an update for you on the cause of a fire that devastated a popular business in Lapeer County. A buildup of dryer lint now being blamed for a fire at the popular Country Smokehouse and Store. That's in Almont. We're told the fire started in a commercial dryer and it spread to the roof, destroying part of the restaurant. The owners tell us they were working on expanding the business when the fire happened. This was last week. Those plans have now been put on hold, but the owners say they do still plan to rebuild. It is Friday, and we are talking about rush hour rain and also a big temperature drop as well. We're going to start paying the price, unfortunately, for all that beautiful weather we've had all week. And Ben, we're wondering, how bad is it going to get?
Yeah, Sandra, we knew it was coming, and now it's starting to move in, at least the beginnings of that transition. You can see there's light rain here across the area. Most of it is in the west zone right now on the other side of 96. We are going to continue to watch that push to the east through the rest of the evening hours. Metro zone, most of us getting a little bit of a break right now, but of course that rain is going to return, especially once we get past 8 o'clock tonight when the actual cold front starts to sweep through. These are the Metro zone temperatures tonight. We'll stay in the 60s at least at 10 o'clock. Then the front will come through at least on the east side and drop temperatures for everybody into the 50s. So we're going to look at how the temperatures are going to tumble for the weekend, and you may be surprised to see the lows we're expecting tonight. All that coming up in your 4-zone forecast in just minutes. Sandra?
All right, thank you, Ben. The impeachment investigation surrounding President Trump got a big boost from a key witness today, and the president suffered yet another defeat in court over his financial records. Kimberly Gill is in the newsroom today, and Kim, we know this story has so many moving pieces.
Good afternoon, Sandra. Yeah, you're right. Since taking control of the House, Democrats have been flexing their oversight powers, if you will. Most of the focus right now is on the president's dealings with Ukraine, as you know. Today, Marie Yovanovitch, the former ambassador to Ukraine, testified on Capitol Hill behind closed doors. She was fired. NBC reports she told lawmakers she heard there was a concerted campaign to get her removed, although she served at the pleasure of the president. She says she was shocked to be fired because of false claims by people with questionable motives. President Trump is accused of leaning on Ukraine to get dirt on former Vice President Joe Biden and his son. Yovanovitch testified even though she still works for the State Department, and the White House is refusing to cooperate with the investigation. The current ambassador to the European Union now says he will testify under subpoena next week. Gordon Sondland didn't show up Tuesday when President Trump refused to allow it. Democrats want to ask him about text messages between Trump officials and dealings with Ukraine. In the meantime, a federal appeals court has ruled that several years of the president's financial records must be turned over to Congress. It's not clear when that might happen, and the president could appeal to the Supreme Court. So, Sandra, those are some of the biggest developments today. Our coverage will continue tonight at 5 with much more from Capitol Hill. For now, though, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, a lot of new developments today. Thank you so much, Kimberly.
Sure.
First at 4, we're also tracking stories making headlines for you across America on this Friday. And let's go ahead and start at Turkey's border with Syria. That's where Turkish forces are on the move. It's the third day, in fact, of the offensive against Syrian Kurdish forces, allies of the United States. The invasion has forced at least 70,000 people to leave border towns. The death toll right now still unclear. We do know, though, that the Kurds are convinced this is just the beginning of ethnic cleansing. The President Trump's removal of U.S. troops widely being condemned today. He says, though, he will take steps to rein in Turkish aggression, but we've seen no concrete actions taken at this time. Tensions between Iran and Saudi Arabia could be rising yet again. Iran says 2 missiles struck an oil tanker in the Red Sea right near Saudi Arabia. Iran calling it an act of terrorism. It says the damage was minimal and the crew is safe. If the attack is confirmed, it would likely raise the threat level in the Persian Gulf region after a month of relative stability. Right now, no comments from Saudi Arabia on the incident. British counterterrorism detectives are investigating a mass stabbing at a shopping center in Manchester. 5 people were hurt. Police say a man in his 40s has been arrested on suspicion of committing an act of terror. That mall was evacuated. Police rushed in. They tackled that man. He is the suspect. You might remember a suicide bomber killed 22 people at a concert in Manchester, an Ariana Grande concert. That shopping mall not far from the concert hall where that attack happened. 2 U.S. astronauts took a walk in outer space today. They were doing maintenance on the International Space Station. Americans Christina Koch and Drew Morgan, they installed new lithium batteries on the far side of the station. It's the second of 5 scheduled spacewalks for that pair. Back here on Earth, we just discovered a new school program that gives students something they really need. A parent volunteer came up with the idea to fill an old closet with items some students just don't have. But our Paula Tutman finds that old closet is really filled with kindness and love.
So I'm at Warren Woods Middle School in the Warren Woods School District. And this is what's really cool, because while this says storage, and you know, this is probably a storage closet few people even realize was here, but take a look at what they've done with it and what they've turned it into. At Warren Woods Middle School, the lesson is in love and kindness. In this school of 800, 70% of the students are on free and reduced breakfast and lunch programs. And that means they come to school with need and they leave with need.
It breaks your heart, it does. I mean, it just, you know, for them to not have the necessary things. And like when I was in school, everybody was expected to have a pencil and you know, money for lunch, et cetera. And unfortunately, we have families that just that don't have that.
And so a parent volunteer with foster children of his own in the system who understands the need came up with an idea. Create a shop, kind of like a restore shop.
Well, we have everything broken down by gender, so we have clothes for girls, clothes for boys, and in every single size to accommodate kids from the elementary all the way into the high school. From shoes and jackets to mittens, outdoor stuff, indoor stuff, basically everything a kid would need. And then we have food for kids that have a food need at home, might be having a food shortage or having a tough week that they're going through, so we can supply food. Basically everything they need to be able to come to school successfully, fed, clothed, well taken care of.
And then make it possible for the kids to come through as needed to shop for whatever they need for free. Coats, shoes, clothes, food, personal hygiene items, whatever they need.
Well, the kids, they have a private entrance that they can come in directly from the counseling office. That way, other students don't necessarily see them coming in, and they don't have to be feeling, they don't have to feel self-conscious about utilizing this service.
But for this shop, many of these children would not have some of the basics for school. But when the former coat closet opens to students next week, they will.
We're so excited to get it kicked off and introduced to the community.
And of course you can donate, because of course they're going to need donations, clothes, sundry items, food. We're going to put information on our social media platforms at clickondetroit.com and of course the Local 4 Paula Tutman Facebook page, so you can connect with this school and help these amazing kids. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
What a great idea. Thank you, Paula. Still ahead, a Help Me Hank recall alert. Safety concerns from 2 automakers today involving airbags and also rear view cameras. We'll tell you what you need to know. That's coming up next. Also, new information about the crash that severely injured Kevin Hart, plus his reaction. But up first, a baseball pitcher busted. We've heard about athletes with legal troubles, but this case has a surprising twist involving a doggy door and a stun gun. That story less than 3 minutes away.
Trump groupies. On the road with President Trump.